solution given by his Brahmin learned advisors to have a murti of Sita made. A golden Sita would be made to be present as a kind of substitute Sita for the sacrifice. Rama performed more than one sacrifice, and it seems that they would not reuse the same murti of Sita. Each time they would make a new murti of Sita. According to the Garga Samhita, there were quite many Sitas after some time. And one day, all of these Sitas came suddenly alive and came to Rama and said, "We are your wife." And Rama said, "Well, yes, but you see, I made a vow that I only have one wife in this incarnation." And all the Sitas said, "Yes, we are your one wife." And Rama said, "Well, yes, but no." But in my next descent into the world as Krishna, you may all appear as my consorts. And so that's one of the ways that the various this was one of the means by which consorts of Krishna appears in the world, by this benediction. Jai Sitaram, Sitaram, Lakshman, Hanuman Ji ki Jai. Okay, this was my highly deficient, but best I could do for the time, description of Ram Lila. And as I said, we can remember that Rama is the Supreme Lord. As the Supreme Lord, he performs transcendental pastimes. We call them Lila. And although he is Maryada Purushottama, he is the Lord of propriety, he has a counterpart in Lila Purushottama. Who is Lila Purushottama? It's Krishna. The Lord as Krishna is Lila Purushottama. Of course, Rama's pastimes are also Lila. But the idea is that where Rama is always acting under the constraints of Dharma, Krishna is sometimes stretching the constraints of Dharma in order to demonstrate that he is indeed the supreme personality of Godhead in his original form. He is Avatari, he is Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachit Ananda Vigraha. Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karanam, the cause of all causes. So, as I mentioned last time, when we chant Hare Krishna, we are chanting also Hare Rama, and Rama is both Ramachandra and Balarama, but today he's Ramachandra. So as we chant, we can remember the glories of the Lord, his name, his form, his pastime. His name, his form, his qualities, his pastime. Hare Krishna. So on that note, anyone have any other remembrances of Ram's pastimes to share with us? Some detail? pastimes of the deities of Rama. I know of one Rama temple in South India where the way they entertain, the way they serve Rama, in addition to the usual services they do, is just outside the temple, in the temple courtyard. One man sits all day, and you come to him and you offer him 1 rupee, probably now it's 5 rupees, and he will take some gunpowder and put it into a little miniature cannon, and he will light it, and it will explode. Boom. Yeah, that's for the pleasure of Rama. There's a temple at Rameshwaram in the south of India, at the place considered to be where Rama returned after coming back from Lanka. And this is an interesting temple because it's a combination Rama temple and Shiva temple. Both Shiva and Rama are worshipped in one temple. Why is that? Because Rama, when he returned from Lanka, was advised by the Brahmins that because he had killed a Brahmin, he should worship Lord Shiva. And so that's what he did. On the beach, they created a Shiva linga on the spot, and he performed the worship, and then presumably that same sand Shiva linga became stone. It's a very interesting temple to visit because within the temple compound, it's quite a large temple compound. Within the compound they have 21 tirthas. These are wells, actually. These are access points to sacred water. And it's understood that each one of these is different water. Probably the geologists will say, no, it's all the same. But it's understood there are 21 different tirthas. And so what you do in order to take advantage of these tirthas, because unlike most tirthas, which are a river that you go to the bank of and you can bathe, these are deep wells. So you go, the men go in their gamchas, the ladies go in their sari, ready to get wet. And you pay 5 rupees, probably now it's more. It was 5 rupees when I went there. To one young man, and he has a little bucket about this size on a rope, and he leads you around from one tirtha to the next, and he dips his bucket into the water, and he lifts it up, and he dumps it over your head. And then, after he's dumped over everybody's head, he takes you to the next. You're soaking wet. By the end, you are 21 times bathed, and you feel very clean. You have never felt so clean in your life. And in that condition, then you can go into the temple, still wet, and offer obeisance